The picture on the right, top right, the picture on the top right is the computer lab, and the bottom is a student lounge where students can go to just catch up on studies or do their assignments, and the like. So the Vancouver House is debatably the best building in Canada and arguably the best building in the world. It has an amazing architectural design, and it was voted, or it was nominated as one of the most exciting buildings by CNN, just to tell you how amazing the building and infrastructure in the building is. So now going to what qualifications can your students apply for with UCW, and I'll tell you a few of them. Under our undergraduate program, we have something called an Associate of Arts. Now, the Associate of Arts is a 2-year program. It's almost like splitting your bachelor's degree, 4-year bachelor's degree, into 2 years. It's a 2-year program, and there are 8 streams. Students can take Associate of Arts and be able to have a career in accounting, economics, hospitality and tourism, management, marketing, media communication, psychology, or social justice. It's a 2-year program. And the Bachelor of Commerce is a 4-year program. And we also have a Bachelor of Arts in Business Communication, which is a 4-year program. So students can decide to take an Associate of Arts. When they graduate, they can start working, or they can take a bachelor's degree program. When they graduate, they can start working, all right? So what are the entry requirements for this program? You need a high school diploma or an equivalent. So if you talk about Africans, so meanwhile, if you have questions, please just drop it on the question and answer tab. I'll take them after the presentation. So if you have a high school grade 12 diploma or an equivalent, this is the only entry requirement you need. Depending on the country you come from, you may be required to take an English test. So you need to check with us or with Joining Campus to know whether you require an English test. But some countries don't need an English test to actually get entrance. What are the fees? It's per year for the associate, and the bachelor's degree program, it's 18,270 Canadian dollars per year. And students pay per subject. So even though I've given you an annual fee, you actually pay your tuition fee per subject, which is 1,872 per subject, all right? So that's what the fees are for the associate and the bachelor's degree programs that your students will be a part of. Then we have our graduate programs. We have one of the best, if not the best, Masters in Business Administration program in the entire Northern America. Why? Because we have, this program has an ACBSB accreditation. ACBSB is a body that accredits business courses, and we have the highest level of accreditation for ACBSB. In addition to that, and I'll touch on this in the next few slides, we are also a 5-star rated university, and I'll tell you a bit more about this in the next few slides. But our graduate program is one of the best in the world. Arguably, we have a Master's in Business Administration with specializations in leadership, marketing and digital marketing, financial management, consulting, human resource, business analytics, entrepreneurship, and nonprofit. So your students who want to study HR can take this course. They want to study financial management, they can take this course. Entrepreneurship, they can take this course. One of the most popular ones, marketing and digital marketing. A lot of students like this, they can take this course. It's all offered in UCW. Now, students who don't meet the entry requirements are required to take a foundation course for 3 months before they can join the the master's program. So there's a foundation course that is only given if you don't meet the entry requirements. And what are these entry requirements? You need a bachelor's degree. If you have a bachelor's degree, transcript and certificate, that's the only thing that's required. We don't need a GRE, we don't need a GMAT, but depending on the country as well, we may need an English test. The English test, either IELTS or TOEFL, an English exam to actually gain entrance into UCW. Now, what are the fees for our MBA? It's 18,420 Canadian dollars per year, and it's a 2-year program. But if you're going to do the MBA foundation, you pay an extra 7,375 Canadian dollars for the MBA foundation. Again, we charge per subject and payment is in installments. So you take 2 or 3 subjects, you pay for only those 2 or 3 subjects per semester that you take. It's in installments, but just to give you an idea of the total fees, it's 18,420 Canadian dollars per year. So these are some of the benefits. And for me, one of the best selling points for the university is the first point I have on the screen, which is we are a 5-star university awarded by QS. What does this mean? And you can Google it later. To get a 5-star but from QS, it means that your quality of teaching is premium. It's at the best. It means that the welfare of the students is at the best. It means that employability for your students is at the best. So it's a very unique rating or award. And just to let you know, there are only 4 universities in Canada that has the 5-star rating. Canada has hundreds and hundreds of universities and colleges, at least 300 of them, but only 4 have a 5-star status, and University Canada West is one of them. So your students are going to get the best of the best if they attend UCW, and that's one of the things you need to tell them. So that's one of the benefits of attending the university. Our faculty members would be another important benefit because we bring first-hand industry experienced lecturers, people who are CEOs, COOs, CFOs to actually lecture the students. Another point would be we have 4 intakes in a year, and you may be asking, why is that an advantage? And I'll tell you, most universities have 2 intakes or only 3 intakes a year. The reason 4 intakes is unique and is a benefit for the students is because, number 1, they can finish their programs faster. So the MBA, there's 2 years, can be finished in 1 year, 3 months. The associate the associate program that is 2 years can be finished in 1 year, 2 months, or 3 months, 1 year, 3 months. The bachelor's degree that is a 4-year program can be finished in 3 years. That's because we have multiple intakes and students can take more intakes in a year. The second advantage is that there are 4 intakes, but students can decide to study for only 3 of these intakes and take a semester break for 1 intake. And during the semester break, they can work full time. So UCW students have a chance of making more money working in Canada than any other university that doesn't offer 4 intakes. So these are the advantages of having 4 intakes rather than 3 or 2. Now, another thing is personalized attention, because our class sizes, maximum class size is 25, and we have class sizes of as low as 15. Now, somebody had already asked what scholarships are available. We have lots of scholarships depending on what locations you come from or what locations your students are coming from. I'll tell you a few of them. And Mohammed, if you would, after I finish the scholarship part, also to talk about a few scholarships that affect Middle Easterns and Indians. So the ones I'm going to tell you are general ones and those that affect Africans. So the general one is one of them is called the Pathway to Knowledge Scholarship. Now, the Pathway to Knowledge Scholarship is open to all undergraduate, those that are going for Bachelor of Commerce or Bachelor of Arts in Business Communication for 2022. If you apply, you will get a scholarship, Pathway for Knowledge Scholarship. What do you need to get it? Nothing. As long as you apply, you get an admission, you will get the scholarship. So that's an amazing scholarship. What's the worth of the scholarship? It's worth 1 year tuition fee. That means it's worth about 18,000 Canadian degree program. Now, you can't get anything better than that. It's an amazing opportunity for bachelor's degree seekers or potential students. They get 1 year tuition waiver worth 18,000 Canadian dollars. And that is available if you actually get admitted. Now, The second type of scholarship you can get is the MBA Foundation Grant for those who actually have MBA get an MBA Foundation in Canadian dollars. There's also another bachelor's degrees and also graduate programs that this qualification is actually this scholarship is actually as much as 10,000 Canadian dollars for graduate programs, that's masters, and 20,000 Canadian dollars for undergraduate programs. How do you get it? Simply with the results you apply to the university with. So the student's results, if they're very good, if the student has a first class in their bachelor's, they will get this scholarship. Or if the student has 80% and above for their high school grade 12 results, then they will stand a chance to get the scholarship. Now, another thing I'd already mentioned, another benefit is that we're ACBSB accredited. I talked about that earlier. I've also talked about faster completion possible for students who want to complete fast. And then we also university offers two options, online and on campus. All right, so students who don't want to travel to Canada can study online, and those who want to be in Canada can study on campus. And the fees are totally different. Online is 50% less than the on-campus fees. So the fees I had mentioned to you earlier are less, 50%, if you take the online studies, all right? And then last but not least, we won an award in 2020 and 2021 as the best university, the #1 university in Canada offering online education. So we are really good at what we do. And I think that these are huge selling points for your students. So that brings me to the end of this presentation. Like I said, I will start to accept questions now. I see some have already been asked, and I think I've also answered some of them. So someone is asking, do you have scholarships? Okay, I've mentioned the scholarships already. Another question is, do you accept Duolingo text to get the admission letter? Mohammed, can you answer that? Do we accept Duolingo for the countries that need English test?
Hi, Anthony, thank you. So Duolingo test is accepted at University Canada West, but for certain nationalities, for any Middle Eastern nationalities and North African, MENA region in general, yes, we do accept the Duolingo. The requirement is 110 with a minimum of 80 in every band of the exam. However, for Indian students, they must have IELTS. Duolingo is not accepted because otherwise, anyway, they will need the IELTS to apply for visa. So that's the only reason why we don't accept Duolingo for Indian students, because anyway, they will need the test again. But for any nationality from the MENA region, from Africa, from anywhere else, we do accept Duolingo.
Thank you very much, Mohammed. Another question I have here is, please give us a bit more brief about the payment plan. So this is how it works. Once you get an offer from UC Dublin, you're supposed to make an initial deposit, regardless of what program you've applied for. The initial deposit is 7,900 Canadian dollars. Once you make that initial deposit, that's part of your tuition fee for the first semester. So once you make the initial deposit, we issue something called a letter of acceptance, which you can refer to as a visa letter. That's the letter you use for your visa application. And once you get the letter of acceptance and you get your visa applied for and you come into Canada, we will start to deduct your tuition fee from the initial deposit. So usually I find that the 7,900 is enough for the first semester, and you may have a little bit of extra that will be moved on to the second semester, and then you can top up that second semester. So basically, if you remember the slide where I showed the fees, for the bachelor's programs, a subject is 1,872 Canadian dollars. So if you take 3 subjects or 4 subjects, you can do the math and see how much it costs. And for the master's, a subject is about 2,456. So you take 3 subjects, you're supposed to take about 3 subjects a semester. So you pay about 7,200 and something or 7,300 and something per semester. That's the payment plan that you do. And a semester is for 3 months. I hope that answers your question. Can you please share the presentation? Definitely, I will share the presentation after this. How many years study gap do you accept? So the study gaps, as long as it's usually for the embassy. So for us as a university, once you apply, even though you have study gap, we will accept you, but you need to explain the study gaps at the time you apply for your visa through the statement of purpose that you use for the visa application. So that's what you need to know. Do you assist students to get residence permit? So residence permit can be applied for by the student after their studies. So we have a lot of students who've taken this route to become resident to get their permits for residency. So this is applied for after your studies, and you can find support to do that while you're in Canada. But for us, what we're focusing on now is to get you to come into Canada to study with us. What would you do if visa is rejected after paying tuition? You can get a refund. We refund all your fees, the initial deposit, if your visa is rejected. Another question is, do you have lodging facilities? Okay, so UCW does not have a hostel. However, we partner with an organization called Forstay, and Forstay supplies accommodation, or is a platform that our students use to find accommodations around Vancouver. It's always better to live a bit away from downtown, because downtown Vancouver is more expensive for accommodation. So I always advise students to live about 30 minutes to 50 minutes away from the school. And it's easy. Transportation in Vancouver is easy to get around because there's a sky train, there's the taxis. There are different ways to get around in Vancouver, ferry taxis that go on the water. So if you live about 20 to 15 minutes away from the school, it's totally okay, because you actually don't come to school every day, and getting around is easy. So it's always good to use that option. So just tell your students lodging facilities can be gotten through the school. What other question? Let me see. Do you accept students who already holding master's degree without bachelor's for your MBA? If the master's degree is a business master's degree, we may not accept them. So the best thing to do is, if you have a student who has a master's in IT or master's in something that isn't business, yes, we may likely accept them. We should. But if the student has a master's in, say, business management, or then we may not accept them, because it's a duplication of degree. So we can accept them. Let me see if I have another question. Apart from IELTS, which English test do you accept? Like Mohammed had mentioned, Duolingo is accepted. There's also another English test you can accept. If you have an English test that you want to check if it's acceptable, just reach out to Joining Campus. They will check with me, and I will check whether we can accept that.
Okay. Anthony, shall I jump here with some addition?
Yes.
Yeah,
please.
with regards to language proficiency test, we do accept the IELTS, the Duolingo, as I said, the TOEFL IBT, the PTE academic, and you can double check all these tests that we accept. They are available on our website, and I'm pretty sure Anthony can share them with you. But for now, you can know that TOEFL is accepted. We accept the minimum overall score is 88, with a minimum of 20 in every band of the exam. Duolingo, I already mentioned that, and the IELTS is 6.5.
Great, thanks, Mohammed. Really appreciate it. So, any other questions that we can take? Let me see. I think we've already answered that one. Anybody else has any questions?
Hi, Anthony.
Yes.
Yes, Deepa. Yep. Actually, the presentation which you gave covered each and every information, and I do think like all the questions have been asked by the agents, and
Okay.
even if we are like we can contact you anytime if we are having any other questions, right? So
Yeah,
I think like I believe that we are done with the session, and
that's right.
thank you so much for your time, and even
Thank
I would like
you.
to
I
thank Mohammed
appreciate.
also for his time.
Thank you so
And
much, Deepa. I appreciate
presentation
it.
went really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, even me.
All right.
And
Have a nice
we'll
day,
just wait
everyone.
for the
Thank you, Mohammed.
presentation. Yes, so that we can share it with the associates. The
Okay. I'll
presentation,
share.
right?
I'll share the presentation. Thank you.
Yeah, and once again, thanks a lot for your time. Thanks a lot.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye,
you,
everyone.
everybody.
Have a
Thank
nice
you.
Have a nice day.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Mohammed. Bye.